So a quick review of the IPEVO VZ-X. This is just a summary of the points. If you want a longer full video, then there's a link in the description for that. I received this visualizer from IPEVO, thank you very much, in exchange for the review, but it's not a sponsored video, so this is an unbiased review of it. Spoiler alert, I like this visualizer. USB. I already think that's brilliant. To summarise, this is a good visualizer. It's sturdy, it's got a good height, so you're unlikely to knock it as you work. It's got plenty of functionality, and it's got buttons for those functions actually on the visualizer. It's got that HDMI out, and I think that's crucial. Trust me, if you don't think you'll need it, you should get it anyway, because you will discover that you really want that later during your use of a visualizer. Trust me, you want a visualizer with the HDMI out, so you don't have to always set up the computer to use it. I like the fact that it's got a push to focus button, and you can lock the focus in. And the microphone on it is not too bad for a small microphone on a visualizer. I think the wireless is good, but I do think that is only for confident users of IT. People who struggle to set things up, who just want to kind of push to play, probably won't use the wireless mode, so in which case you'd only really go for the standard HDMI visualizer. For me, it could be a camera with a bigger sensor that would allow it to have a less noisy image, although I don't think that that is going to be on any other visualizer around this price point. So I don't think that it should put you off buying this visualizer, because you won't find better elsewhere. The software is fine, the software is good, it's got lots of features, but it did crash on me when I was trying to do a time lapse at the highest resolution. And that's not because of my computer, it's definitely powerful enough to handle it. I'm not sure why that is. But again, if you're a specialist user, then you'll probably find ways around that. Didn't really bother me too much because I just took that time lapse in a different way. Got plenty of functions, and there are buttons for those functions actually on the visualizer. For example, the zoom and the light are function buttons on the visualizer, so you don't have to boot up the software to use those functions. This is IPEVO's flagship visualizer. It has 3 different output methods. You can use it straight into the computer with a USB, or you can output straight to HDMI, or you can use it wirelessly. This can be seen as very similar to IPEVO's other 2 visualizers. They'll all have very similar cameras in them. I think the sweet spot for most schools and most teachers will be that HDMI plus USB version. I wouldn't recommend just getting the USB alone, and I don't think that most people need the wireless functionality. It's a visualizer with high resolution, it's 8 megapixel resolution, so it's future-proof for that kind of reason. And when you zoom in, you'll still have a good, crisp, high resolution image. The IPEVO without any extra light looks better. Add in a little side light just to fill in any shadows, and turn its own light on, and you have a really pleasing image there. This is the microphone just built into it, and I'm actually pretty impressed. But actually, for a small microphone in there, it's going to be quite close to your mouth because you're generally talking as you write over some paper. Perhaps I'm pretty impressed by the quality of this microphone. The wireless mode for some people could be very, very useful, but for some people it just isn't going to get used. So I suggest if you're perhaps buying a whole fleet of cameras, you maybe stick at this VZ-R, which is exactly the same visualizer but doesn't have that wireless capability. The image sensor is exactly the same across all of these 3 cameras, so you're getting the exact same image quality. So you just really need to decide what level of functionality do you need.